It's Madden NFL 24, and it's brought to you by EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League finds us in the capital city of Columbus, Ohio. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be our visitors taking on our home team. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon, and we are underway from FedEx Field. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a 2nd consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
Ball start, offense.
Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Looked like a pretty smart decision that time to keep the football by the quarterback.
It was, because you saw how the runner got swarmed. So you got to pull the ball from his arms, keep it yourself, and get what you can. And the most underrated player on this play is the running back. Because even if he doesn't have the ball, he has to act like he does in order to attract the defense.
He'll head out of bounds inside the 10, mark him down at the 9. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Following the play here, now we've got an injury. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defenses only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
Had the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And it's 3-0 Washington. After marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. They go play action. Mariota. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. So they bring out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So tug on the face mask, and that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And sometimes it'll go unnoticed, but that one, pretty obvious for everyone to see.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Miller. He finds his man complete. That's Spencer. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be 1st, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off play action. Miller to the right side and complete to Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a 1st down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Back to throw. Miller to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. He's going to try and take off with it. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from a yard out. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. And maybe there that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
Running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And he powers his way up past the 30.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
And on now is the punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at the 20. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And this offense on third down today, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Pressure comes, and down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Even keeping the back end for extra protection on third down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive.
Face man. Defense.
Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Mariota. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing, Mariota. Got a man, it's Brown. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Elliott. Able to avoid him at the 40. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, They go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Miller. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. But officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Here's Miller on 1st and 10. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Elliott trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over. Looking and finding Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And Washington going to add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it's a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 17-3. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Mariota. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This is taken at the 23. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. And he goes out right around the 39. That'll give him 8 that time, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Looking to throw. Miller. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Miller throwing on first down. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Now Miller on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. On first and 10, Miller. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Then their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right,
this
Coach,
was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
So after a very one-sided first half, what will the second half bring as we are back underway on EA Sports? And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
And you start to think if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
It's a first down on a gain of 10. He finds his way into the secondary again on this drive. They might want to try getting him down a little closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what do they call that? Third level run. First level being the D-line and linebacker. Second level in the secondary, the third. When you block it up well and you make the secondary do all the tackling, that will wear on a defense.
A false start backs him up 5. First and 15. They give it to Freeman up the gun. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that.
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Touchdown! From 6 yards away. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
It fights him off. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll go as a pickup at 14 and a Washington first down. Okay, take us to school here, Charles. On a play like that, pretty successful RPO. What's the quarterback looking at?
Basics. He's looking at the defensive end or the outside linebacker. If that player crashes down to take the running back, quarterback pulls it, runs to the outside end. Some teams, though, will read different players depending on defenses, but basically it's that outside player.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further.
So 3 points response there to that opening touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Hey, did you have one of those backyards that you had one of those, like, mats or pits like you have for high jumpers, and you know you had your friends throw the ball and you tried to make the spectacular catches?
I didn't need a mat.
you just did it with the ground?
Absolutely.
That explains your toughness. That explains your toughness right there, because I think that guy was raised just like you. What a catch. If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Our home team 20.
Back now at FedEx Field. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They'll get 34 yards there.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
75 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now.
Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Washington offense set to take over.
That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
Now 2nd and 3. Here's the option.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper. He's been pretty good with his legs in this game. A really nice gain there. Defensively, they've been okay covering downfield, but you got to account for the quarterback, right?
Yeah, and that's the hardest part because normally when you play 11 on 11, it's truly not 11 on 11. Defensively, you don't account for the quarterback in the run game. You account for everyone else and hope that you can catch him before he gets to the first down marker. But as you noticed, he's been doing it a little bit. This time he saved his best for this run.
Saving one of his best for the 4th quarter.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Off the play fake. Miller.
He'll get this out wide here to Elliott.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Miller now to throw on 3rd down.
An off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late.
They overloaded that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss loss of 7.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those 2 hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
Yeah, he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch him drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you off sides. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here comes 2nd down. Here's Mariota.
His throw incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
A big play needed, no doubt. 3rd and long. Now Mariota.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down.
To throw, Mariota.
And this one is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So instead of the incredibly obvious choice of trying to punt it out near midfield, now they've left their defense with no margin for error.
No, 0. And I don't care how much confidence you have in your defense. I don't care if you say, hey, I'm going to be aggressive because those guys can pick me up. You really put them in an impossible situation.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
10th carry now for Elliott. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards?
Try to take this home. They'll run.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Well, if this defense can hold him to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
And his kick is indeed good. And high fives for that one as that drive